And here we go with lesson 14. Talking about perimeter. What is a perimeter? Well, the perimeter is the total distance around the outside of something. Okay, so write a definition. The distance distance around the out side of something. Now, normally when we do the calculations for perimeter, it's going to be some kind of a normal shape, no curved edges. Eventually you'll get to math where you do like the perimeter of a circle, which has a special name, but not any, find the perimeter of this goofy shape here. Okay, you could do it, but it would not be a quick and easy formula, just like your formula for area, which is length times width. That's nice and easy. Finding this, honestly, the best way would be to take a piece of string and make it into that shape, and then stretch it out and measure it. That's the easiest way. We're going to be dealing with much more normal shapes. So for example, the first question here, determine the perimeter of a rectangle 35 centimeters by 50 centimeters. Okay, it does not mean, the x here, does not mean you have to multiply it. That's just a way of giving dimensions, that it's 35 centimeters wide by 50 centimeters long. Let's draw a quick picture. Okay, so it's obviously not going to be life size here, nor are they perfectly straight, but that's okay. 35 on these two sides here and here, and 50 on this side on the top, and the one down here. Again, I'm using those ticks just to help me remember that these two opposite each other are the same, and these two opposite each other are the same. Now, if we want the distance around the outside of something, one way to do that would be to imagine we start walking right here. We're going to go around the outside. So we can go this way. We go 35. So we've gone 35 centimeters. Come to this corner. We're going to now go all the way across over to this corner. And that's another 50 centimeters. So 50 centimeters. Then we come up to here. That's another 35. And then we make our way over to this side here, which is finally another 50. And we add those all up, and we end up with a grand, whopping total of 170 centimeters. Now there's an easier way to do that. You might notice it. These two sides are the same. I could multiply those two, that one side by 2, 50 times 2. Oh, 50 times 2. That's 100. We could even use, this order of operations stuff that we talked about earlier this year. So we have 50 times 2 plus, well, there's 2 of the 35s as well. 35 times 2. And then we do some inside the brackets. That's 100. That's 70. 100 plus 70 still equals 170. Lovely. Okay. So we could write this as a formula. There's no real need to do a formula. You just have to remember, take care of every one of the sides. Okay. So what about this guy here? Well, determine the perimeter of a regular hexagon that has a side length of 30 centimeters. So we got to figure out, okay, hexagon. So that's a 6-sided figure. Each side is 30. I'm going to draw some little ticks in there to help us see that in spite of my drawing, they're all the same size. We know that because it's a regular hexagon. That means all the sides are the same. Now there's 30 centimeters each. There's 6 of them. So I guess I could do 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30. There's an easier way. 30, there's 6 of them, would be 30 times 6. So 30 centimeters times 6 equals 180 centimeters. Now notice when I'm writing the units for these guys here, they're just in centimeters. Okay. When I'm multiplying, I'm not multiplying centimeters times centimeters. I'm just multiplying centimeters times number of sides. Okay. If we skip back to the last lesson, here we go. We're multiplying in this last lesson. This should have actually been meters squared here plus meters squared. When we do the work, we're multiplying meters by meters. That gives us meters squared as our units. Okay. When we're here, we're just adding centimeters or multiplying centimeters or meters or whatever our unit of length is by the number of sides that have that same length. Okay. Your next job is to flip to page 277 in your textbook. And there's 4 little mural things that they talk about there. There's one that's sort of a cross shape, one that's sort of a, well, not sort of, it is a hexagon shape, one that's a rectangle, and one that's a square. Your job is to figure out the perimeter, or the length of the border, for each mural. And that's the work that you're going to do for this one. My recommendation, I didn't give you lines here. Draw a sketch of each one. Again, it does not have to be life size. Okay, you don't have to measure it out. You don't have to draw the specific little details inside. So if I'm doing, and I'll show it with the big kind of T-shaped one, because that's actually probably the hardest one. Something like that. Now, it's got the little ticks on there. Each side is 12 centimeters. So our next job is to figure out, okay, how many of these sides are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just doing the ticks. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 centimeters for each of these sides. There's 12 of them. 12 centimeters times 12 equals, that looks like a goofy N, so let's make it a 12, equals 144 centimeters. Alright, now, your turn for the other ones. Have fun. See you on Monday.